A jive talking, a get rockin'. We jive talking. Do you wanna jive? Do you wanna jive with me? Hey, let's get down. Jive talking, having fun. We a jive talking. It's a son of a gun. We gonna have a grab your buns. I got a jive talking to everyone. Shoo, my God. I'm loving the ukulele. The uke, we call it in the biz. The uke. You guys are just amazed all the time at the different instruments I can play and vocal abilities and just all these things. What's going on? And welcome back to episode, what is it, 36 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. First thing out of the gate, I have gotten into a bit more trouble with one of my videos, a Kiss video. So there may be some retooling that happens with the video autopsy portion. It's amazing to me that I can I have record labels get a hold of me. I have band management companies get a hold of me. So please do the reaction videos, do this. So none of my reactions or my first listens ever get in any kind of trouble with anybody because they've went through the process. They're unmonetized. I'm not making $1 off of any of it. Then I do my video autopsies where it allows me a little bit more wiggle room there, and I'm getting dinged for these videos. I got dinged yesterday for a video that I did a year ago that 200 people have seen. So stay tuned for all of that. Look at this guy. You're thinking, is that Grizzly Adams? No, it's the singer Michael Sweet from the band Stryper. And right here, if you can see down here, it says, I don't believe that grunge killed hair metal. Now, is he of the same frame of mind that the heavy metal ballad is what killed grunge hair metal? The only way we can find this out, my dear friends, my wonderful friends here, is to scroll down and read some of this story and see what Michael has to say about the Sixx. So that's what we do. Stryper guitarist, vocalist Michael Sweet has weighed in on the never-ending debate about how the rise of grunge in the early 1990s forced most hard rock bands off the radio and MTV with album and tour sales plummeting. On Tuesday, August 2nd, the 59-year-old openly Christian rocker he's openly Christian rocker. He's been openly Christian, but he's an openly Christian rocker. Who writes most of the music for his band, took to his Instagram to share a photo of late Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, and he included the following message. I don't believe that grunge killed hair metal. I think that many hair metal bands stopped trying to some degree, and because of that, they started releasing mediocre music, Stryper included. Okay, well, he's an honest enough man to put himself in there. I think when something new like grunge came along in Nirvana, and it exploded and it sold so many records and it gained so many fans, what do? You go, well, how do we bottle some of that? We could use some of that right now. And it's a hard thing to do, especially when you put in decades in a certain musical style and then you try to twist it into a bit more of a different thing. When quote-unquote hair metal exploded on the scene in the early 80s, it was incredible, powerful, fresh, and exciting. A movement that changed the times. As the 80s came to an end, hair metal was, for the most part, cliche. Yes, I agree. Somewhat redundant and, for the most part, recycled. I want to be fair and say not all bands, certainly many. Also, this is my personal opinion. Well, I'm glad that he does that, because sometimes you got to put the IMO on your statements. I think fans were looking for something new and exciting again. Enter grunge. If was a movement as well, it was, someone put an F, guys, that wasn't me, that says if, it's it. It was a movement as well. It wasn't really intricate musically speaking, but it was a raw and passionate, and that's what makes music appealing no matter what genre. Originality and passion build the foundation of any great artist or band. I'll never forget when I first heard Nirvana. You gotta have that playing in the background. I actually loved it and immediately went out and bought the record. I played it for the guys and they didn't seem quite as excited about it as I was. But I thought to myself, times are definitely changing, and they did very quickly. Personally, the grunge movement helped me to work harder and try harder. I dug a lot deeper within myself from that time forward to be a better writer, performer, musician, and producer. So I say thank you to grunge for turning things around. See, my argument would be, and I believe Rock Talk with Todd LeBaron, what's his name? Rock Talk with, oh my gosh, you know who I'm talking about, the Canadian fella. He mentioned this a couple of times, that it was the big ballads that all the bands started doing, and you do a hell of a lot of them, right? Every hair metal band had a big ballad, and then the thrash band started doing it, and everyone started doing it. It was just a really weird time. It seemed like Pantera was the only band that made it all the way through the 90s. They just kept shooting up and skyrocketing away. You see how I'm doing that with my hands? It's just skyrocketing away. So there you have that. And we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Blackie Lawless here. What does he say? This is probably good news for most. Wasp Blackie Lawless says, quote, "The thought of retiring just doesn't appeal to me. And I'm still looking forward to it if he's planning to come to the United States, because I would like to see Wasp on the 40th anniversary tour, if that's a possibility." Ahead of Wasp's 40th anniversary fall 2022 U.S. tour, frontman Blackie Lawless told Ultimate Classic Rock that he has no intention of retire at any time soon. "I don't think of age as a number," he said. "I think it's how you feel. And I still feel like I'm 20. I feel really good. I can do most everything I've ever done, so I feel pretty good about where I'm at." Could you do a jump rope? Calisthenics? Push-ups? "The thought of retirement just doesn't appeal to me. I see some people use it as a marketing tool, and I've always thought that was kind of a cheap stunt. I mean, if they're sincere about it, then you're probably due. I shouldn't say probably. You do owe it to a fan base to tell them if you're indeed gonna stop. I mean, my natural reaction, I'm the kind of person that I would want to just do it until I can't do it anymore. And then I just stop. One day just don't go into the office anymore. I don't want gold watch from anybody for my years of servitude. That's not my thing. But I do think that you would have an obligation to let people know if you were indeed going to stop. But that's just not my thing. That's not the way I go about it, because I'm an animal. No, because what do you do when you retire? I know what you do. You die. You see it all the time. The old folks, they go, "Oh, I'm retired now," and then next thing you know, kaboomo. We are fortunate enough, and I say we, as in anybody who does this for a living. You did it because you did it because you would have done it for free anyway. So what's there to stop? If you physically can't do it anymore, I get that. But you've been blessed with 2 legs and 2 arms in most cases to make a living at your hobby. This thing that's been your passion. So why do you want to stop? I mean, I don't. And he makes a very valid point there. I think my Blackie Lawless impression is perfectly on point. Wasp's first live performance since December 2019 took place on July 23rd at Skanksen in Stockholm, Sweden. Wasp recently postponed its European 40th anniversary tour, originally scheduled for spring of 2022 until the spring of 2023. The new dates will take place in March, April, and May of 2023. All tickets previously purchased for the 2022 tour will be valid at the rescheduled 2023 shows. Wasp will embark on its first U.S. tour in a decade this fall. The trek will coincide with the band's 40th anniversary and will include support from Armored Saint and Michael Schenker. So that's going to be a good time. That is going to be a damn good time. What's this saying down here? In May 2022 interview, Meltdown of Detroit's WRIF radio station, Lawless spoke about the status of his long-in-the-works autobiography. He said,
It's taken a whole lot longer than I thought it would, but it's been one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. It's a tremendous amount of work because there's so many things over the course of a lifetime that you forget about, especially when you do what you do for a living. Anybody that does what we do, it's not like the average person out there where you go to work and you do your thing and you get into your routine, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just different. I've often said that I've already, because of the schedule and the way that any band has to do things, you're here today, you're somewhere else tomorrow. It's like you've already lived 4 or 5 or somebody else's lifetimes. And because of the amount of intensity that goes into the same amount of space that everybody has, 24 hours for somebody that does this is not the same as 24 hours for somebody that is in a routine. And it can get a little on the insane side. Insane in the membranes, insane in the brains. Yeah, I would love to take a taste of that world of the rock lifestyle, but because I'm in bed by 10 p.m. I watch my reality TV shows, and then I go to sleep at 10 p.m. I wake up at 5 a.m., and I do my work, and I do all that, and then I come home, and I pray for mercy and for the nightmare to end, and then I do it all over again. So it would be neat to be a Blackie Lawless. Andy McCoy, are you familiar with this fellow? He's the Hanoi Rocks guy. He's had some words about Nikki Sixx and the Motley Crew guys as of recent. And so I thought we would get into this and find out what all the hubbub is above. Andy McCoy says he never got a thank you from Nikki Sixx for saving his life, calls Motley Crue's bassist a second-class citizen. That's not nice, Andy. Say nice things. Hanoi Rocks guitarist Andy McCoy has once again slammed Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx over his account of his heroin overdose as published in Crue's best-selling band autobiography, The Dirt, Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band, and The Dirt biopic. The 59-year-old Finnish-born musician, whose real name is Antti Hurpo, discussed his relationship with Nikki in a new interview with Indie Power. McCoy said, "I'm not a farm boy like Nikki Sixx." I know he sounds like he's from the South or something, but let's pretend that he's from the South or somewhere. "I'm not a farm boy like Nikki Sixx. I'm from the inner city, and I can't stand bullshit like his book. Oh, they're full of lies. I saved the guy's life," he added, apparently touching upon a time when he supposedly revived Sixx after a heroin overdose, and he makes up stories. Referring to another one of Sixx's tales of supposedly getting pummeled with a baseball bat on the floor of a London dealer's flat after another overdose, Andy said, "I mean, I used to play baseball. You think someone would survive it if I hit him with a baseball bat? Hell no, man. It depends. Where are you hitting them? If you clonk them on the head, yeah, they're not going to live. If you clonk them in the knee, they're going to live. Arm, live. Shoulder, live. Neck, depends if you hit the arteries or not." The guy would have to be a professional baseball player to hit that, to sink that baseball bat into the side of Nikki Sixx. He's got that lovely hair, that big, thick, full hair. It's like good padding. Referring to another one of Sixx's tales, did I already read that? Yeah. Circling back to the time when he saved Nikki's life, Andy said, "I fucking got him revived, got his heart beating again, and the thank you I got after had been de nada. I mean, total de nada, bro. De nadaville on this guy." He reiterated using the Spanish phrase of "it's nothing," for "it's nothing. And that makes him a second-class citizen in my eyes, because he only thinks about the buck. Hanoi Rocks drummer Nicholas Razzle Dingley was killed, and 2 other people were seriously injured when Crue's singer Vince Neil, whose blood alcohol level was 0.17, which was over the legal limit, smashed his car into another vehicle in Redondo Beach, California in December 1984. Do you remember the song? What was it? The Dead Milkmen? Bitchin' Camaro? Where he's like, "Hey, I'm going to buy a Motley Crue t-shirt. All the proceeds to get the lead singer out of jail. Bitchin' Camaro! Bitchin' Camaro!"
Last month, Andy told Artists on Record starring Attica Live that he never even got as much as an apology from that motherfucker. You know who I'm talking about, he said. I'm not going to give any names. Oh, geez, I think we know, though. Why would I give him fame? Fuck him. He's not. I'm going to go ahead and say Andy's not very happy with him. Every time I see him, he runs away because he knows what I do, but that's our business. Because he knows what I do. Oh, because he knows what I'd do. What would you do, Andy? Andy? When Waste Some Time with Jason Green video podcast, Jason Green noted that he likes the fact that Andy is so open about his feelings about Motley Crue. McCoy said, I speak the truth, mate. I don't lie, like Nikki Sixx. Through my fucking teeth. Jesus, yeah, they don't get along. I'd be curious to see if there was a Nikki Sixx response. McCoy was then asked about Crue's decision to title their box set Music to Crash Your Car To. Well, that's not nice. That's probably not a good... Considering the Vince Neil thing and the drummer Dingley and all that. Hanoi Rocks, a move that Hanoi Rocks frontman Michael Monroe, had previously called beyond disrespectful, I thought. And Michael Monroe thought that was the tackiest title. Thinking about that, what had happened, that was in real tacky bad taste, Andy said. If you're European like me, it's something you don't do. You respect other people. You just don't want to make a buck for yourself. You respect other people. So there you have that. Andy McCoy. He's the real McCoy. Speaking of real McCoys, here's Phil Anselmo. You know this fella? He's always got that face. There it is again. Walk on home, boy. He's got the scrunched up lips to say, you talking to me? You better walk on home, boy. Phil Anselmo, I know Dimebag and Vinnie Paul would want the legacy and the name of Pantera to go on and on and on. So we know what this is going to be about. They're preparing to set out to they're not preparing to set out just yet, but they've essentially finalized that Charlie Benante, Zakk Wylde will be the guitar player drummer for Rex and Phil Anselmo to do a tribute to Pantera type of sitch. This past February, I just told you all that shit, and now I can just read it to you again. This past February, at least 2 months after he first approached Charlie Benante about taking part in the new Pantera tour, singer Phil Anselmo spoke to The Pit. Walk on, homeboy, get in the pit. About what he thought the band's late guitarist Dimebag Darrell Abbott and drummer Vinnie Paul Abbott would say about Pantera's legacy. He said, Dimebag and Vince always wanted this band to be a legacy band, to be massive, to be our own conduit to success. Simply put, I think Dime and Vince, I know Dime and Vince, would want the legacy and the name of Pantera to go on and on and on and on and in everybody's damn face. I know that for sure. Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. That would be their biggest dream. Last month, it was reported that Benante and guitarist Zakk Wylde, along with Pantera's surviving members Anselmo and bassist Rex Brown, will tour as Pantera. So they're not going to do tribute. Headlining a number of major festivals across North America and Europe and staging some of their own headlining concerts. There you go. You don't put Pantera Tribute on it, you put Pantera. What are they doing? They say, we're going as Pantera. They're going to be headlining a number of major festivals. That is big, big bucks. According to a report by Billboard, Wylde, Zakk being Wylde, and Benante, Charlie being Benante's, involvement in the project has been approved by the estate of Pantera's late co-founders, Vinnie Paul and Dimebag. So if the families and everyone's good with it, then let's roll. Let's rock it, baby, right? If there isn't somebody in the close family of those two fellas that are saying this isn't right, then let them do it. Because they're probably going to be receiving some of those those delicious funds too from those headline festivals. Last week, Benante was asked during an appearance on SiriusXM's Junk in the Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk in the Trunk. When he first got approached about taking part in the Pantera tour, the Anthrax drummer said, "Oh man, December of last year, end of December, I was talking to Philip, and then he just mentioned this, and I said, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And then it became real about January or February. While he was alive, Vinnie Paul had repeatedly dismissed talks of Pantera reunion, telling Germany's EMP rock invasion in 2014, man, let me tell you, brother, man, people are selfish, man. They want what they want. They don't care what you want. And it's unfortunate that people go, oh, wow, man, they can get Zakk Wylde to jump up there on stage, and it's Pantera again. No, it's not. You know, it's not that simple. If Eddie Van Halen was to get shot in the head 4 times next week, Jesus, Vinnie, would everyone be going, hey man, Zakk, go play Van Halen? Just call it Van Halen. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's really selfish for people to think that. And it's stupid. And it's not right. Okay, everything I just said about the reunion, erase all that. Because that's Vinnie Paul himself saying that. He continued, they call it a reunion for a reason. It's called bringing the original members back to what it was. So there's a lot of these things that they call reunions that aren't really reunions. They got one dude from the band floating around in them, you know. That's not true reunion. With Pantera, it will never be possible. Okay, he's really giving us the beans here, from the grave even. He reported those same sentiments a few months later, telling Planet Mosh in a separate interview, without Dimebag Darrell, there is no Pantera reunion. And that's all there is to it. We were a very influential band, and we touched millions and millions of people, and that's with that band, but it's over. People really have to come to grips with that. And that's all there is to it. All of us were still here. If all of us were still here, then the possibility would truly be there. But since it's not, you know, it's selfish of the fans to want something they can't have. And they don't ever understand that. And I get it. There's things I want in this world too. Like maybe Ace and Peter back in Kiss. You know, people in fucking hell want ice water. But they're not going to get it. Really? There's not like an ice water stand or something like that? Some Avion Fuji water would be nice. I'd even drink the water if it was warm or hot. So anyone, I'm glad that people who have decided to follow me, and hell yeah, do, and hopefully more of them will. And the ones that want to live in the past are going to live in the past. So there you have that, my friends. Take back everything I said. I mean, that's Vinnie right there saying, no, this shouldn't be a go-go. You walk on home, boy. And for the last story here, just a PSA for our wonderful pal, Todd Latour. He's a longtime cigarette smoker. If you're a smoker, quit smoking. I was a smoker for probably 25 years. It's the best thing. It's the worst thing I ever started doing, and it was the best thing that I ever stopped doing. And you can take that to bank from somebody that was a cigarette smoker. Okay? Let's see what he says, because it says here, longtime cigarette smoker Todd Latour explains how he is able to hit all the high notes in Queensryche's songs. On a recent episode of Talk Louder podcast hosted by veteran musician Metal Dave Glessner, a lifelong rock metal vocalist, Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys. Oh, is that the Dangerous Toys guy? They got a podcast? Queensryche's Todd Latour discussed how the fact that he is a longtime cigarette smoker has or has not affected his singing voice. The 48-year-old musician who lives in St. Petersburg, Florida, said, legendary heavy metal singer Ronnie James Dio smoked forever. He did? I didn't know that. That's not good. Ronnie. Luciano Pavarotti, one of the legendary three tenors, was widely regarded as one of the greatest singers of the 20th century, smoked forever. Granted, I think he died of lung cancer. Laughs. But he sang like a fucking bird. Pavarotti sang that. It's like in Italian, but it sounds very beautiful in any language or any kind of yodeling style that he does there. It sounds really good. You don't have to know the words. Look, there's a great singer named Fabio Leone. He's an Italian guy, Todd continued, and he's kind of that power metal melodic singing. I mean, the guy smokes like a chimney. He's probably my age or in the same ballpark or older. I remember when I joined Crimson Glory, some friends were saying, you should go to the singing coach who taught Midnight. Or Midnight took lessons from him. And so did blah, blah, blah. And so did blah, blah, blah. And I just went for an evaluation. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Todd recalled. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing whatever I do, he said. You know how many people come to me like you, and I said probably a lot. He goes, very few. He goes, this sounds like mumbo jumbo to me. You have an amazing technique. You have blah, 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 blah. But now we're going to go, I want to find your weaknesses. Let's try to build those up. People go, do you want to warm up? Or do you warm up? Do you do this? 90% of the time, I literally, if I'm just being honest, I'll have a coffee and I'll have a smoke and the pre-roll is rolling. That's like the intro music that you hear. Boom, Operation Mindcrime, boom, chicka, boom, boom, chick, boom. You know, whatever's playing before they go, bang, and they hit the song. And so he's just smoking and drinking coffee, and the pre-roll is rolling, and I'll go have a final puff off the cigarette, then I walk out and I sing. And I've done that forever. The voice coach said, I said, look, I'm a smoker. He's like, I'll give you my honest opinion on this. I've been a professional voice coach for blah, blah, blah. He goes, look, it's unhealthy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's healthy. It's not. It's bad for your health. He goes, as far as singing, in my opinion, after doing this for 40 years, I don't think that it will ruin your singing voice at all. I think that, number one, everyone is different, but he said it's all conditioning. It's funny because there are people that will smoke weed but don't smoke cigarettes. And they'll be like, smoking cigarettes is bad for you. They don't consider themselves smokers because they're smoking weed. I'm like, listen, you are inhaling smoke, and which is an irritant, and it will dry you out. And you're still sucking that stuff down. I agree, Todd, on that. I do. But cigarettes, look at this. They got a before and after. Todd not smoking, Todd loving smoking. Todd not smoking, Todd serious, Todd just diving into a deep breath. You know, when you do that kind of a face, and I know what this is, you're taking a hefty huff off that cigarette. When you put the cigarette in, and then you just let go of the cigarette, but your fingers are still cradling it, and you're just going, you're getting a big huff. This is I'm interested in what you're telling me. Tell me more. Cigarette stylings. That is it, my friends. We're going to get into your comments here, and then we are going to call it a do on this episode. So much stuff going on. So many stresses. So many different things happening around here. I wish I could say the guy that did the Kiss video and said, I don't want to get in any more trouble than I'm already in. But maybe I shouldn't put that in here to be speaking that. But anywho, let's get into these comments and go from there. Oscar Salvador coming in. He says, in one of the Stadium Tour YouTube videos, I saw Mick Mars push the Mike Tyson cameraman out of the way pretty aggressively as he was shuffling around the stage. Wow, I wish I could take a peeksy doodle at that, but I'm horrified right now of everything that I do on the channel. Didn't Jake E. Lee call him a racist? Yes, I do believe I heard that about Mick Mars. because Jakey Lee would have been on that tour with the Bark at the Moon tour when Motley Crue opened up for him. I've heard that before. Mick, a.k.a. Robert Deal, has some pretty big balls for an old man with ankylosing spondylitis. I don't know what that's what you're talking about there, buddy. This was probably rehearsed as well. Mars and Tyson probably had lunch together earlier that day, made small talk, and had a few laughs about life in general. Yeah. The Great Danton coming in. We got a new guy here. Oh my gosh, this is a long one. I am sweating like a horse pig. The air conditioning isn't working in here, and I'm going to take my hat off so I can breathe a little better, okay? Because I am just sweating like a freaking pig in here. The Great Danton. I've never heard of a hi-hat on a track coming in on the PA as a cue for the band to start so they keep time. I haven't either, but I was assuming that's what it might have been. This is something the drummer does as a count off to the beginning of the next song. Any sort of cue of click track would be sent through the band's in-ear monitor. Yeah, the pop, 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 pop. And the crew would 100% need that as they play 2 tracks. I love Motley Crue, and it's no diss to them, but they use tracks live for additional guitar, backing vocals, and whatever else they may need for them. But to my knowledge, the band has and always played their instruments and over whatever tracks they are. Let's see, and I'm 100% cool with that. Though Mick is not a fan of this, but he does not steer the ship that is Motley Crue. Yeah. That is Nikki Sixx. That is Nikki and his choice. Tommy is phenomenal rock drummer. Yeah, because I was saying I didn't think that he was playing live there. Let's see. Tommy, a rock drummer, has always played his drums live, but his whole hoopla of him not playing live had me thinking that if he indeed did break 4 ribs, maybe he is not up to consistently playing a full show and is up there for the visual and kind of playing along. That could be a good point too. But the track is what we are hearing in case he can't keep the beat, keep up, etc. due to his injury. Yeah, very good point. I'm the only one I've seen to mention this, and maybe I'm way out in left field, but at the start of the tour, many people, myself included, chimed in as to how bad bruised, broken ribs and the fact that you are not going to be playing drums with them, and certainly not in a hard rock metal band. If it were a different broken bone, I'd buy it, and it still not be long enough for the pain for those ribs to have subsided. Broken, bruised ribs hurt to move, breathe, laugh, cough, sit up, sit down. Yeah. Another thing is too is your hernia, any kind of stomach surgeries or anything like that. It just, you can't do anything. You can't move your stretch, do basically anything. They are miserable. I don't know, just throwing in my 2 cents and rant. Regardless, Tommy Lee has always been perfectly capable of playing his drums, even upside down. This guy can do it upside down, roller coasters and everything else. But I've never heard of a pre-recorded hi-hat or other cues coming over the PA as the drummer taps them when he starts the song. I mean, but we saw that, didn't we? See that it started at before the... See, the only thing that I was trying to get at with that is if you just plug those hi-hats to that intro that they had playing before they went into the song, everyone can count that out. If they don't have it there, they're dependent on Tommy Lee doing that. Does that make sense? So if he comes in too early, the other guys are going, "Hey, wait a minute." But you got a very good point with the in-ear monitor. So I don't know. Does Vince Neil have an in-ear monitor? Is he the type of guy that would have an in-ear? I don't know. But I never heard of pre-recorded hi-hats or the other cues coming off the PA as the drummer taps them when starting the song as a cue, similar to Dee Dee Ramone counting off 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, prior to every song. Very good, very informational. I thank you, the Great Danton. Fantastic comment there. Zeus Baltar. Motley Crue. I don't know why people are paying big money for the stadium tour. Def Leppard will be on the road next year playing arenas. I can't imagine Crue won't do the same thing. Too much money on the table unless your favorite band is Poison. The stadium tour doesn't make sense without a really good seat. Metal shows in the sunshine don't do the trick for me either. Shania Twain. Oh, now he's getting on to Shania Twain. As a Canadian, I 100% agree. Looks like $1 million, always has, and with Mutt Lange's production became a country female singer version of Def Leppard. Yeah, great minds think alike because Shania Twain is absolutely fantastic. And she had 3 number 1 albums in a row. And when I hear her sing her songs, I think she's singing them to me. When she said, "You still wanna run to, I lay in bed with 2." I always go, oh, I like to pretend she's singing to me. So very good, sir. There's your heart, Zayas. Miss Althea here coming in. The Dumbstruck Fool says, nice ballad intro and outro. I feel like it could become a wedding reception standard. I would like that. If there's any way that we can get on that, have it clipped, have it sent to the Congress, and get it out on the music charts, I would appreciate it because I would like to see that happen. Here's another one, Miss Althea. I found it hilarious that your keyboard was randomly going off on its own while you were covering the Kirk Hammett Creepshow story. Maybe you should submit that piece of this episode to Paranormal Caught on Camera. I think what it is with that keyboard is that it does that to kind of go, hey, idiot, you left it on. We're turning it off for you. Or the batteries are going to die or whatever. But I'm totally up for sending it to paranormal shows. I would love to be on any paranormal show that I could get on, really. I would love to go with those fools, the great, what are they called? The Ghost Adventurers? Zach Bacons and all them. Oh my goodness, I would love to just hang out and just watch those fools run around and fall on themselves. Still Miss Althea here, actually falling while singing a song titled Not Falling. Oh my. Thank goodness Chad was not injured, and not to take away from the incident, but Jeezy P. You can't make that shit up. Yeah, he was doing the song Not Falling and Falling. I think there was I think they talked to him about that, and he was saying, yeah, he's a fun-loving dude, and he says, yeah, I made a goof. That's ironic that it's like a black fly in your Chardonnay. You know what I mean? It's just ironic. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need's a knife, if you know what I'm talking about. It's like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. God, that sucks. Still Miss out there here. The Shania Twain documentary is on my to-watch list to this day. Forever and for always makes me all verklempt. Yeah, she's the hit master. It's a great documentary because it talks about when she went away, and it talks about the Mutt Lange breakup and the divorce and how I guess she got Lyme disease or something like that. And it messed with her voice, and so they talk about all of that and stuff. I love a good rock doc, or country doc. I wasn't going to say the other word. Country doc. Rock doc, country doc. There's your heart, Miss Althea. Oh, boy. Mike Buchanan, he's got a laundry list here. Let's get into it. Now on to Creep. Okay, first off, we all need no demand a picture of you on your bike. Oh, first off, we all need no demand a picture of you on your bike. You do not want to see that. Have you ever seen that when they show like a hippo on a bicycle or something like that in a cartoon in the circus? That's what you would see. I've even had a couple of people go, ride it, fat ass. Go for it, fat. That's why I put my earbuds in now. And I'll tell you, the music that I listen to the most, if it's not hair metal or punk that I listen to when I'm riding, retro synthwave. There's no vocals on it, but it's all shit that you'd hear, that you think you would hear on Stranger Things or something. It's all, and it's great. It gets you pedaling, your ass gets pedaling, all that. Now on to Creepshow. Love the original 1980 movie to death. See what I did there? But it also brings up memories of Tales from the Crypt. I love that show too, HBO. Which brings up sad, angry memories as my mom threw out all of my Tales from the Crypt comics when I was serving in the Air Force. Why would she do that? Some of them originals from the 1950s. To this day, I still bring this up to her. Oh yeah, that's a bummer. It's like that horrifying urban folk tale of the kid that has all of his ancient Kiss stuff in the attic, and mom comes and throws it all away. Everybody knows one of those people that says, I had all of my shit, all my Kiss stuff, all my Kiss cards, all of that stuff, and my mother got rid of it when I was gone out of town. Buckethead, I would love to see live someday. I would too. Still Mike Buchanan here. Okay, I get Tommy Lee thing, but can we get a backing track for Vince? But I will admit, I saw Vince perform solo a few years ago, and I really had a great time. First row, even got to sing Home Sweet Home along with Vince. So he put the microphone down there. Home Sweet Home. Still, Miss Althea must apologize to Miss Althea. It's still Mike Buchanan, but he's mentioning Miss Althea. Must apologize to Miss Althea as I didn't see her comment until now. Thank you for the humble words, okay? And now, you Jive Talkin' Joke of the Week. For Miss Althea, some of my favorite Stephen Wright one-liners. Yes, okay. Here we go. Yeah, Stephen Wright was a very dry comedian, but I wrote a song, but I can't read music, so I don't know what it is. Every once in a while, I'll be listening to the radio and I say, I think I might have written that. That's great. For my birthday, I got a humidifier and a dehumidifier. I put them in the same room and let them fight it out. I drive way too fast to worry about cholesterol. I replaced the headlight in my car with strobe lights so it looks like I'm the only one moving. Oh, Jesus. I saw a subliminal advertising executive, but only for a split second. I saw a subliminal advertising executive, but only for a second. Yeah, okay. And finally, since I literally could go on forever, I used to work in a fire hydrant factory. You couldn't park anywhere near the place. Wonderful. That's getting a thumb too. The J Jiggler here, he's the guy that he's popping in now. I erased his heart but gave it back to him. Depending on how well he does here, he might get another one. Thanks for giving my heart back, Mr. Diablo. You're welcome. Gonna have to rewatch the Creepshow films again. Always enjoy listening to the Buckethead's Pepper Ghost album. Keep on Jive Talkin', good sir. Yeah. I liked both the Creepshow movies. I wasn't sure if there was a third one, but hands down, the first one is just the best. It's got the Father's Day story on it. It's got the Ted Danson story. It's got Leslie Nielsen in it, where he buries these people to the neck, and then the water comes in, the tide rises and drowns them, but then they get loose. Oh my God! You just got to go down the rabbit hole and watch that. You probably rent that if you don't have Amazon Prime for probably $3. There's your heart, good sir, Jay Jiggler. And then Sticky Doll coming in. We haven't heard from Sticky Doll in a while. Wondering how much your Shane Diablo Misfits style t-shirt is worth now, since Mr. Danzig put the kibosh on you selling it. We are still pimping you with ours. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what it was, but the Misfits skull shirt is gone. It has been removed. I didn't even get a notification saying, hey, it's like I can't catch a break, man. Every turn I'm doing something wrong in somebody's eyes. And I'm just trying to have a little lighthearted fun and humor. I'm a huge fan of hard rock and heavy metal music, trying to have a damn good time and a fun time. And you just can't win or lose. Somebody's always up your ass or telling you this, that, and the other thing. That's all I got. I love you guys so much. I'm wishing you well. Have a damn good work weekend. And enjoy yourself, okay? I know this is the first time you guys are seeing my hair and such since I've been growing it out, but I'm a sweaty pig in here. You know, that's all I need now is the air conditioner. Oh, there's a problem with that. It'd be $500. It's just, come on. Let's just come. Here we go. Let's do it. Jive talking. Having good times. Jive talking. Do you want to jive with me? Yes, I do. Come on now, let's have a good time. Let's jive until we jiving's done. Jiving so much, and jiving so good. But most importantly, we jiving for fun. Hey.